Hey everybody, Spine Ticks Pressing here, and I've got something really exciting to share with you. It's a package from Paul and the 619, so stay tuned to find out what's inside. I'm really excited about this one. What I've got here is I've got something from Paul and the 619, and he sent it to me. So let's get it open, and let me tell you a little bit about it. So Paul and the 619 is a channel that I enjoy, and Paul's a friend of mine. We have chatted a little bit on Instagram, and I guess mostly on Instagram, and then in the comments a little bit on YouTube, and I really like his channel. He has some pretty cool stuff out there, some Wednesday pickups, and he's even got some cool wrestling videos that I really enjoy, and just lots of great stuff. I enjoy his channel, and I think he's got the best intro out there. Every time I watch that intro, it cracks me up, and I love it. So thank you, Paul, for sending this to me. So he and I were talking, and I can't recall what got the conversation going, but I think we were talking about cleaning and pressing. And I said to him, I said, hey, Paul, send me a book, and I will clean and press it for you. And so I said, you know, if you trust me, send me a book. And so he did. And I'm so excited that he did, because I get to work on Paul's book. And then I thought long and hard about this book, and I have actually a 5-book submission that I'm sending out any day now, because I got all 5 done. Let me pull them out real quick for you. I don't think this is all of them, but here are the 5 books that I am sending to CGC. I got my Batman 635, and this is how I package my books before I send them off to CGC. I've got them in 2 backer boards, and then inside a bag, and then a little bit larger Mylar around it. And then here's this booster gold that I worked on. This is the one that I cracked and pressed. And I forgot to tell you about this one. I'm sending this one in for my daughter. It's that Silk 2 by Rose Besh, a beautiful cover. And then I've got 2 more here. And I keep all my books that are done and ready for pressing. Whoops, that wasn't very good. I keep them upright in a very hard plastic container. So there are a couple more in here, but those are books that are older than 1975. They're not moderns. And so I've got this fantastic Noctera #1 that I just think is gorgeous. It's just beautiful. I can't wait to get that one back. And we'll see. I've got my predictions. I've got them recorded, and I will show them when I get these books back from CGC. And here's the last book of my 5 that are ready to go, Alias #1. I picked this up for really cheap, I think like 40 bucks. So I'm excited to send them off. And so I thought, you know what? Since I'm sending these 5, I'm just going to send Paul's off when I'm done. And he didn't know that at first, but I've talked to him, and he said, hey, why not? So this book here I'm going to include in my submission. And when it gets back, I'm not going to tell Paul the Great. I'm going to keep it a secret and then send him his slab book. And then he's going to do a video. So I'm really I'm excited about that. So let's see what's all in here. And oh man, this is pretty good. Let me see if I can get this one off here. I'm gonna pry it off like that, really carefully. Let's get this painter's tape off. Well done. And what is in here? All right, so he's sent me his book. And if you haven't seen his video, he's got a video that he did featuring this book, talking about how he's going to send it to me. And this was a sentimental book from him. This is a book that he's owned for a long, long time. And so he showed it on the video. I haven't seen it yet. You know, obviously I'm opening it right now. And when he showed it on screen, I got a little excited. I thought, wow, you know, he said this was a mid-grade copy, and I think this one might turn out pretty good based on what I saw of that book. He showed that there was a large crease across the middle. Let me get this. I just want to get a little bit, I guess, got a little bit of dust on my work area. I want to get all that off. There we go. And there was a pretty sizable crease, and I saw that, and I said, yeah, I can get that out. And then he said there were no spine ticks. And then I saw the book itself, and it was a newsstand copy. I thought, man, this is pretty slick, and I really like the cover. So let me show you the book. He had it really nicely packaged up. All right, here it is. Wow, holy crap. Mid-grade copy my butt, Paul. This thing is great. Wow. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, he's got two. They're pretty deep creases here, but they should come out. Well, I got a little bit. I noticed up here, there's a little bit of color breaking up here. Somebody really bent it good. Down here, it looks great. So I don't think this color, this little crease right here, there's a little color break there. So that's going to hurt it. But I think this book still looks fantastic. Corners look outstanding. That one and these two right here look great. There's a little bit of dirt or some kind of smudgy stuff on that top right corner. And that corner looks pretty good. Little bit of compression on it. But the spine looks fantastic. I don't see, there's a couple little spine ticks, really small ones, super, super tiny. And then, obviously it's a newsstand copy, and I like Mr. Sinister. I do. I've been trying to get that first appearance, and I don't have it yet. And this is one of those books that I was also collecting as a kid, X-Men, and I think I would have had it if I kept collecting. So it's one of those keys that I'd like to try to get. And I think Mr. Sinister is a pretty important X-Men villain. And I would imagine we'll probably see some kind of an incarnation of him eventually in the MCU when we see the X-Men show up. So I do feel really good about these indentations. I think they're all going to come out, no problem. Might have to apply a little bit of moisture. Sometimes what I do is I'll take like a Q-tip and get it damp and just apply some localized moisture to it. And I might try that first, or I could try putting the whole book inside the humidity chamber and see what happens. But I don't think that's really gonna. I don't think it's gonna provide enough moisture to get the indentation out if I use the humidity chamber. And the rest of the book looks pretty good. So I'm curious to see if that crease went into the book, and it does look like it does. Yeah, I see it on the first page. Let's see how far it goes. Don't really see it here. So it looks like it's just limited to that first inside page. I could see it on that one. So this book probably is going to benefit from the humidity chamber in the sense that it'll soak up some humidity into the inside of the book, and it may take a couple pressings to get that out, but I think in time we can get that out. And let's take a look at the back. So yeah, a little bit of, I think he mentioned there was some ink. This may just come right off, with a little bit of eraser work. There's a little spine tick there. Wow, I think the book looks great. And yeah, I think he showed in the video that the crease went all the way through. I don't know what happened there to cause that, but it's a pretty sizable crease to the book. But I think with the humidity chamber, the inside of the book, and this probably the crease on the back side, because it's not as pronounced on the back, will come out. And then I'll just have to really work on these discolorations on the back and see what they are. They could be, you never know. It could be a kid was literally eating one of these candies and they put their fingers there and there. It could have been somebody handling it off the rack. And some of these little marks like this, they'll just come right out with a little bit of eraser work. So I see a little bit of dirt here. So, but I think this book is really, really nice. I mean, I think it looks great. And the biggest issue, the biggest defect I see that's going to be non-repairable is probably this color breaking crease right here between the and the U in uncanny. And this corner, I think this corner is just a little bit dirty. That's all. And I think that's gonna, in fact, I think it's coming off right here as I rub it with these gloves. So yeah, this is gonna be really fun. I can't wait to get working on it, and join me on this. All right, so I want to try to show you some of the creases I'm going to try to angle this here so you can see it. Can you see it right there? Yeah, it runs kind of the whole length of the book. And they're pretty substantial. I'm not sure what would have caused this. Perhaps maybe placing something on top of it really heavy. This might have been done in production. I'm not sure. But that is the biggest issue, I think, with the book, and I believe that can be corrected. There is color breaking up here, very slightly color breaking, and then I noticed right in here along the hand, it's got also what looks like some more color breaking. So because of that crease, let's see if you can see it. It's right in there, just ever so slight, right in there. So yeah, that's really the only defect that can't be improved, I think, on this book. I think just about all of them can on the book. So let's take a look really quick at let's look at the document from Improve Collecting Comics, and it'll have the prediction of this book. So let's go to it. All right, so let's take a look at the comic collecting analysis tool. This is a free tool that you could go out and find, and it was created by Improve Collecting Comics, and Jim created this, and I think it's a fantastic tool. It really does help you get a good gauge on where a book is. So let's take a look at this particular book, X-Men 239, bindery, no issues on that. There are some, I would say, moderate issues with the corner. That we have some color loss on one of the corners. Right now, before the press, the book does have some issues with the edges, and so let's I'm going to call it minor. And the spine, I don't notice any issues with the spine or the staple. The cover does have some issues on the front and the back, and I think they're extensive. The creasing are borderline major, but I'm going to call them extensive. And the pages themselves look fine on the inside. There's no issues with the pages on the inside. All right, so based on Jim's tool, this book right now, without the press, would be a 7.5, and potentially lower if the if it's considered major. Now this is odd. This is like in between the two, and it comes out with a lower score, which I find to be odd than just if it was a straight up major. But because I always thought the way Jim, oh, I see it. I got this selected. So if we went an in-between grade there, I don't know. I still don't see how that's a 7.0 if we uncheck that box there. But possibly the book is got some major defects on the cover. So let's see what we can do to it. So let's put in the check boxes of things that are not going to change. And I think the creasing can be brought down to moderate. And let's see, the corners, I think that can be brought down to minor. And the edges, I think, will all be rectified. So I'm actually going to go to negligible. So Jim's rating system believes that this book, after the press, could possibly be an 8.5. I don't know. We'll have to give it a shot and see. Thanks for making it this far. Stay tuned for the next installment of Paul and the 619's book, X-Men 239, where we clean this book, and check out these exciting links. As always, happy hunting.